Hey guys, what's going on? So I had given you guys a little bit of a preview or kind of a tease of a new knife sharpening system that I picked up. This is the Lansky knife sharpening system, and I wanted to do a bit of a review of my opinion of it and also do a little bit of a demo. Now this system's really cool, and the reason why I got this one was the price for what I was getting. I got this system for $30. And all of the other knife sharpening systems that I saw that were comparable or better were slightly more expensive. They were going upwards of $40, $50, $60. So I thought this one was the best for the money. Basically what it is it comes with 5 hones to sharpen your knives with. Each one of them go from coarse to extra fine. And it comes with these rods that you insert into the hone. And basically what this system is so great at doing is it just takes the guesswork out of the knife sharpening process. Now how it works is you got this clamp right here. On this clamp, you're going to clamp the blade of the knife into the clamp. Kind of like so. You unscrew this bolt right here, stick the knife in, get it nice and straight. And the way that it works is you set up these rods here with each hone so that it's at a straight angle. And the way they tell you to do this is to lie the hone flat on a flat surface along with the rod, and then you tighten it with your fingers just like that to get it nice and straight. Once you got that done, and once you have your knife blade inside of the holder here, you stick these rods inside these holes on the top and bottom of the holder, and each hole represents a different angle for knife sharpening. So let me get this blade in here really fast, and I'll go ahead and show you guys how this works. This is just some cheapo knife I have. It's not worth anything. You know, it was like a $5 knife at a swap meet. So let me get it inside the holder here so I can kind of demonstrate how this works. Alright, so once you got the knife inside of the holder, the way this works is you want to select an angle to sharpen your edge. Now what they recommend for most outdoor folding type knives is the second one from the top, which is a 25-degree angle. I'm not an expert on knife sharpening. This is actually my first quality sharpener, and so I can't really give you guys, you know, the best angle for your knife, but they give you some good examples in the manual. So go ahead and look that up. But for this knife, I'm going to go ahead and use the 25-degree. And the way this works is you just kind of go against the blade like this. You know, you do the blade in sections. And I'm not an expert on this. I've done a few knives and found that it works really well. And I started off with the coarsest hone. Let me tighten this. It's getting a little bit loose. But you're basically just going to do the blade in sections. You know, so you do a small section. I'm going to do 5 on this one. I already did a few, but let's just do 5. I think that was 5. Then you go down a little bit more. And again, technique is key here. That didn't sound too good. But it'll take technique with time. You know, as you use the sharpening system more, your technique will get better. And then you're going to go ahead and flip it over and do the other side. And when you do the other side, you want to make sure you're using the same hole for the rod and the hone to keep it at the same angle. So we're still going with a 25-degree angle. This is an extremely cheap knife and steel. I think it's just 440C stainless steel. It's a no-name brand knife, kind of a throw-around knife. So it actually should sharpen pretty well. And I'm not being exact on these numbers, or I just kind of wanted to demonstrate how easy this is, because I'm not a great knife sharpener. I've never been able to get my knives razor sharp. And actually, let me show you what I usually use. These are the two sharpeners that I have before getting this Lansky system. Just this Smith's knife sharpener, which this really, it can work well if you have a good edge already, but if you don't, then it's pretty hard, at least in my experiences, to get a really good edge on your blade if it's already partially dull. Sorry guys, I keep having to cut the video out because this time a door-to-door salesman came over. But as I was saying, the two knife sharpeners that I had before the Lansky is this Smith's knife sharpener, and then also this Gerber diamond grit sharpener. And they both work okay. I've never really been able to get a really good edge on my knives, so I really wanted to upgrade my system into something that's going to work really well and last a long time. And these can possibly work okay depending on the angles that are already on your knives and depending on how sharp they are, but I've found that it just really doesn't work for me. I can't get the technique down good enough to get a sharp edge on my knives. Alright, so we did the coarse hone on this blade here. I'm going to go into more of a medium. Let's see how that works. We'll go with the green here. Go ahead and get this lined up again. Again, you want to put it on a flat surface so that you can get the right angle, and then you hand tighten right here. Alright, and we'll go back to the knife here. That would really suck if this knife doesn't turn out to be sharp when I finish this, but I don't think I'll have a problem. Again, I'm not doing anything as like a system here. I'm just kind of messing around on the knife. This is kind of how they recommend you do it. You stroke up and then you lift off and bring it down, then another stroke up. So I'm still new at this, but I wanted to kind of demonstrate how well it works because I'm pretty surprised with it. It's really simple. It just takes the guessing work out of sharpening your blades, which I really like, because I'm not an expert in sharpening. Whoa, that's not good. Alright, I'm going to have to put this knife in here, tighten it back up. That should do it. Let's do a few strokes. 5, 3, 4, 5. One thing you'll notice too is if you have a coated blade like this one is, it has some just real cheap coating on it. The way this clamp works, as I bump the camera, the way this clamp works is it clamps onto the blade, so if there's a coating, it's a possibility when we take this clamp off, because it has to clamp on pretty hard, it probably is going to wear some of that coating off, but that's just something to keep in mind. Let's see how this is doing so far. That's definitely sharper. We're getting there. I'm going to go back over this a couple more times. Alright, so I'm going to move on to a little bit of a finer hone here. As you get into the finer hones, again, you want to make sure you keep it in the same angled hole. But the finer hones just kind of, it doesn't feel like it's doing much, but this is more like detail work. It just, I guess, polishes out the edge, makes it more consistent. Obviously, you can tell I'm not an expert on sharpening, but which is why a system like this is great, and I would highly recommend it. Anybody can do this too. You can give someone their first pocket knife. It's going to work on a variety of steels. Obviously, the harder steels and the more durable steels are going to take longer and take a little bit more patience. but it's totally doable to get your knife really sharp depending on what kind of blade steel it is. You know what, let's go ahead and just see how sharp this is now. Let me take off the blade. Now they make it really easy to take this apart too. You can use a dime. They recommend a dime to open up the clamp so you can get your blade out. But I'm going to show you, I bet you this is going to chip out. See, it's going to leave a wear mark on your blade. So if you have a really expensive coated blade, you might want to possibly put maybe some cloth on your blade first before you put the clamp over it, because obviously it's going to scratch it up a little bit. But let's see how good of an edge this gave it. It's definitely sharper. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, but I can totally tell that it's sharper. Let's see if it does let's see if it passes the paper cut test. It does. Definitely. I mean, it's not perfect. It could be better, but I think it's pretty good compared to what it was. I need to polish this one up a little bit more and do some more fine detail work on that edge. And again, this is a really cheap blade, cheap steel, but it is able to cut paper if I could do the test right ever. So anyways, I kind of just wanted to show you guys this Lansky knife sharpening kit. I think it's a great value for $30. I haven't sharpened any extremely hard steels because I really haven't had to. I've got my Spyderco Endura 4 that's got the VG10. It's kind of I guess a medium grade steel, but that one's still really sharp. So I'll definitely try it out with this system. I'm sure it's going to work fine. And again, the more time that you spend using this, the better you're going to get with it. But I just really like the value that you seem to get with this. There's a ton of great reviews. It's reviewed really highly, and just it seems to work really well. If I spent some serious time with this blade, you know, another 10 minutes or so, which I don't have the time on my camera, I'm actually getting ready to lose battery life, but it will get this razor sharp. I can guarantee you it. So thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Man, that it really is sharp. I can just feel it. I appreciate all the feedback you guys give me, the comments here and there. And I hope to keep bringing you guys some outdoor adventure type videos and some gear. So stay tuned. See you later.